This is the third year that I'm living in Ghana, and many things have happened in these 3 years, but most importantly, I married my Ghanaian husband and decided to make Ghana my permanent home. As a content creator, one dark part about my job is the hate comments. I would say one of the most common hate comments that I receive on this platform is comments like, "Go home, Africa is for Africans, Ghana is for Ghanaians." Apart from it being hurtful, it makes me wonder whether, as someone who's married to a Ghanaian, as someone with dual nationality, according to the law, can I ever be considered a Ghanaian Iranian, like many Ghanaians who travel abroad, live in a second country for many years, have the passport, and consider themselves Ghanaian versus the nationality of the country they're living in? Most important question for me is, can my children who will be African, Persian, Iranian, Ghanaian ever consider themselves full Ghanaian or full Iranian? So over a year ago, I had a discussion with one of my friends called Susu. Susu is Ghanaian, has spent all her life in Ghana, can speak Twi fluently, but still struggles with her nationality. She was born in a Ghanaian Lebanese home. Here, she's sharing her story as a mixed race person in Ghana.
My name is Susu. My original name is Suad, pronounced Suad in Arabic. My father was originally Lebanese. He's passed on. My mother is part Lebanese, part Ghanaian. My maternal grandmother was half Sierra Leonean, half Ghanaian. My maternal grandfather, he was also originally their family came from Egypt. So it's like you have different parts of Africa in the equation. If I even want to trace my father's original family, they're also somewhere from North Africa, the Arabic-speaking parts of North Africa. So I've had over the years really to convince a lot of people that the way I see it, I'm a full-blooded African. So we've grown up here, we went to school here, we've lived here practically. I've lived the longest here. Along the line, my siblings, they left the country, they've lived abroad. I just found myself, here. Because I choose, actually, like, okay, this is home to me. And it was tough, I want to be honest. It was tough because everywhere you go, you're branded and you're looked at as, oh, this foreigner. But growing up was more difficult because by the time I mastered the language, I had these years of where you're constantly trying to tell people, but my mother is Ghanaian, like you, or she's mixed. She's part Ghanaian, part Lebanese. It was more like, you are just different than us. And the toughest was in the school years, especially in my class. During the years I was in school, in my class, I was like the only fair-colored person. So sometimes they use as an example, for example, when it was the agric class, and you had to take a hoe and go out and weed. And if they needed to give a demonstration, if even the white girl can weed, I don't see why you can't weed. My mother didn't speak the language because she didn't grow up here. She was taken as a child to Lebanon, so she connected more at the time with the Lebanese culture. Now she's learned to accept both, but she still doesn't speak the language. When I went out and I would hear certain words, I'd memorize the words. I remember that this one, memorize the words. Come home and ask the housekeeper, what's the meaning of this sentence? And she would tell me. So that's how I determined in my mind I'm going to learn Twi. So my mom would speak Arabic to us and we reply English. But because of what she did, at least we picked up Arabic. My father spoke English most of the time to us. If I'm with my sister and we go somewhere and we don't want the Lebanese to hear what we're saying, we switch to Twi. And vice versa. If we're somewhere and we don't want Ghanaians to hear what we're saying, we switch to Arabic. So there was this one time, this lady was going, oh, Brony, oh, Brony. And after a while, the lady I was buying from, she nudged her and said, she said it in Twi, Jaisa, Otiakasa, Oye Krumni, which means stop doing that. She's one of us. She speaks our language. So now I looked at the woman and said, what makes you think I'm white? And then she didn't have an answer. She just kept quiet. I think to myself, there's no need to get offended. Many people actually don't know. You decide what are your priorities. Are you going to live on the edge of life? Or are you just going to let some days, some things just slide by you and say, you know what, I think I just have to spend some time to let you understand that I have had challenges. I'm as human. I want to quote Maya Angelou, I am a human being. That's it. So we are making 4 leaves of cinnamon. We hadn't been to Lebanon in the longest time ever. So when my dad fell ill and he requested that he would like to die in Lebanon, when at the time we're not even sure, we just thought, oh, because of therapy, and family members were offering, oh, bring him, you know, he has a place here, we can take care of him. And eventually he did pass on. And through that experience as well, it made me realize that when we had to go and visit a few times, that they're not as bad as I thought. Because you form a perspective in your mind about people, and it could be any race. These people are this way, so you're constantly looking for the trouble before you even give them a chance to prove themselves. Most of my family members are actually mixed. I have a lot of Ghanaian aunties, Ghanaian uncles, and it's a big family on both sides. We have all colors in the family. We've grown up with friends who were mixed race. They had similar challenges, some had worse challenges. And my conclusion is, I think it depends on the way you handle it or you choose to handle it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm living in Ghana. Because I love Ghana, and Ghana has offered me opportunities. Even my father naturalized as a Ghanaian. He didn't have to. He had a Ghanaian passport. My mother, she has the 2 passports. She has her Ghanaian passport and her Lebanese passport. When I still run into these scenarios of where people call you Obroni all the time, and the word Obroni is supposed to denote a white person or someone who is fair, but underneath the root of that word is also a trickster. The point I always try and prove to people is, before you call me names, know my history, know my background. What if I've grown up here like you and probably had some kind of similar challenges to what you've had? There's this general assumption by the general, a number of people that, oh, you must have had a better life because you're fair-colored, or your opportunities are better than mine because you're fair-colored. And this is what I try and tell people. Nobody's really privileged. You do your part. We went to school here. We finished school. I'm working. I got a job. I was working for people before. I've quit my job. I hustled like everybody else to start my own business, which is now, as you know, natural skincare. I had a fantastic cousin. She's passed on. She would say to me, take the best of both worlds. Take the best of the Ghanaian side. Take the best of the Lebanese side, and you'll be completely fine. And this is where I am today. I've decided I'm taking the best of both because there are fantastic things to take from both sides. So to my fellow Ghanaians, I want to say, accept us as we are. There are many mixed race people who have serious challenges. Some have not even overcome theirs. Some are very touchy, jumpy, edgy about being called names. And we had all kinds of names we used to be called. Because I'm coming from the point of view as all of us are foreigners or strangers on this earth. Nobody owns anything. One day, everybody will leave and go somewhere, and you have to give account for your life. So my point is, if you have any colored or mixed person living abroad, they will face the same challenges. But does that mean that you cannot cope with those challenges? You have to find a way to survive. We live in this diverse world where you can reach the whole world with a phone now. We have to just come out of certain unnecessary prejudices. It's totally not necessary.
I believe Susu's story is 1 in a million stories you can find in Ghana. I'm not in no way saying that everyone will have the same experience, and that was her individual experience in Ghana. But I believe there are parts of her story that many people can resonate with, and there are parts of her story that we can learn something from. I would like to know, what do you think about her story? What do you think it is to be 100% Ghanaian? Or what does it mean to you to be Ghanaian? Please write them in the comment for me, and please do subscribe to this channel so you can watch more videos like this. Thank you.